Yeah, so I mean, the last time I came to presentation was about 20 years ago. I think Florence Stibbets was one of the people in charge of the lifelong learners, and she asked me to do this. And farmers market has changed a lot in the last 20 years. So I'm gonna talk to you guys all about kind of a little about the history about the farmers market, but we're also going to talk about what we're doing now and what the future holds for the farmers market. This is a picture of me. I consider myself a lifelong learner as well. I've always been loved to learn and loved to learn about everything, and gardening has always been one of my passions. So from a very young age, I've been gardening and getting into everything agricultural, and I've pretty much done everything there is to do in northern Michigan as far as that. So like I said, I do apple trees is my main thing I'm doing right now, but I've done bees, honey, every kind of fruit and vegetable that you can grow in northern Michigan I've grown. So with the help of my dad and my parents, they fostered an environment that allowed me to do whatever I wanted basically. They were back, I'm 52 years old now, but back then, kids were allowed to do more things probably than they are to do now. You can see me with my knife in my right hand, and I don't know if kids aren't even allowed to probably do that nowadays, but I was given an axe at that age, or a hatchet. That was kind of one of my birthday presents, and I cleared a whole city lot with my hatchet. Probably by age 10, I had a whole lot cleared, and now that lot is now our garden that we grow for the farmers market. So we did a lot of things. I've been at the farmers market since I was 7 years old. And with Florence Stibbets' son, Brian Stibbets, we started out doing that. My dad did syrup, and Henry Stibbets did honey, and that's how we started selling that down there. But I started bringing my fruits and vegetables down there when I was about 7 or 8 years old and started doing that. So that's how I kind of got started in doing that. Over the years, I got more involved in the farmers market. I became the president of the farmers market about 25 years ago. With help from Florence Stibbets and other people in the community, we started the Friends of the Farmers Market, which is our support group for the farmers market. And that's blossomed into so much more. So that's what I'm going to kind of explain and talk to you guys about that as well. So a couple of things, like I said, that we have two groups that run the farmers market. The farmers themselves, that's the Alpena Farmers Market, and there's the Friends of the Alpena Farmers Market. The Alpena Farmers Market is the vendors. So they set the rules for what we can sell down there, how it's said, when we're going to open that day, all those kind of rules for what we're selling down there, the profit part of the farmers market. The Friends of the Farmers Market, like I say, does all the fun stuff. We do all these events, programs, educational stuff, communities things to help the community and the Alpena Farmers Market. So our mission for the Alpena Farmers Market is to become a leader in the development of a year-round farmers market to foster agricultural growth and maximize locally produced products. And the mission for the Friends is Friends growing together to support the health and nutrition of our local communities. So that's what we strive to do in those two different groups. And I'm the president of the Alpena Farmers Market. I'm just I guess I work for the Friends of the Alpena Farmers Market. I'm one of the coordinators of the farmers market. So. My wife is on the board, so she's been here today. Just a little bit kind of the history of farmers markets. I think we should kind of bring this up how it kind of started, because this is what I'd like to get us back to. So I'm going to start out with what we started out with, and we're trying to get back to where we started. So back in World War I and World War II, it was encouraged to have victory gardens in the United States. That was to have fresh fruits and vegetables available for people. And so it increased wartime production of food. I think estimate over 20 million households participated in this, and 40% of the nation's fresh produce was provided by those victory gardens in that World War II and so World War I and World War II time. It also boosted morale for the United States during the World War time, and inspired gardeners to grow food for personal consumption and food security and sharing with their communities. So that's kind of what blossomed in to the Alpena, or not to the farmers markets in the United States. So local farmers, farmers markets, they provide a strong food system, fresh, healthy, better tasting produce that you can get locally, less environmental, less cost, and has monetary cost as well as less environmental cost for a local food network, and also creates more affordable food and promotes that local consumption of produce that usually is organically grown in a more sustainable way. So, and it also engages the community. Again, the farmers market and markets create a community event that we all can go down to and see our friends and learn about how to grow these fruits and vegetables and stuff right directly from the vendors themselves. So we used to have a very good agricultural system or base in the Alpena area that has dropped off significantly in the last 20 years. Alpena strawberries were we were the leader in strawberry production in the United States at one time. That's hard to believe that, but we were probably like the plant city of the United States back then. If you guys know Plant Cities are basically the strawberry capital of the United States now, I would say, down in Florida. So, they had a parade, they had a queen, a strawberry queen, all kinds of stuff. So they would come, the Strawberry Association, all these bigger farmers would come, and the people that grew their produce in their backyards, those victory gardens grew into a big garden. They had extra stuff to sell, so they came to the Alpena Farmers Market. So the Alpena Farmers Market started in 1978. My father was one of the first people that did this, but Dr. Stibbetson, my dad. This is our station wagon in this picture, actually. We were selling honey and maple syrup out of the back of that. We started out in the first congregational parking lot right in the middle of downtown. We had everything coming in there. Things were trucked up here from Bay City. And that's kind of what kind of killed the farmers market a little bit, because something that kind of started to outcompete some of the local people. But we had chickens running around, pigs down there. We had perches down there selling meat and all kinds of stuff. So it was a rare. And if you guys remember that, probably I can remember that as a kid. But I had a lot of fun going to the farmers market, and that's kind of what made me want to start doing the farmers market. So this is one of the first. This is down also at that parking lot. One of the first times probably I went down there was probably 7 or 8 years old. This is me and Brian Stibbets. So we had a little stand set up. Again, I said my father let me do anything or had me do anything. So we were just basically dropped off at the farmers market by ourselves and said go sell. And then we were customers loved us because you got these 2 little kids selling their stuff, but some of the vendors would take care of us and stuff. But we had, it's pretty unusual. I don't think that would happen nowadays either. So we moved it. This is the location at Chisholm and State Street. That was the smaller on the corner there. That was a really good location, but we outgrew that. We got too many vendors for that. Parking became an issue. Then we moved to behind City Hall. We were in an open parking lot there. These are all open parking lots. We had no covering, no tent. So when it rained, we basically couldn't have a market. So all that produce that you would have that day, it would pretty much go to waste because we couldn't, if it had to be picked. So this is my wife and I. So she's been doing this with me since we were like 15, 16 years old. So she's the one on the right. I'm the one. Then we moved, and then we had a structure built for us out behind City Hall. That helped. But as you can see, that drip edge is right. It's a little delay here. That drip edge is right right over top of us. They did put some gutters there, but a lot of times those gutters didn't work. So when it rained hard, we got rained on. It went right on our booths. So we're out in the rain. Then it doesn't really show it well, but there is now an extension out beyond that drip edge, so it's a little bit wider down there now, but still it wasn't good enough. We weren't completely covered, and we outgrew that space pretty quickly. So we also started in the Harborside Mall right across the street. Our first indoor market in the wintertime was in the Harborside Mall. So this is a picture of the enclosed area we had there. I think this is now a hair salon or something now down there at Harborside Mall. That Jeff Konchak has done really good with developing that area, and he let us use this space basically for free. until we did that remodeling down there. So, but eventually we moved down to our current location, which is the Mishakivas Park, which has been the best by far location we've ever had. So I can't think of a better location for a farmer's market. So we moved our friends booth. This is our friends booth that we have all of our educational stuff out of, our food assistance programs. Linda Canfield has helped us a lot with this, and other people. And always a good support for customers as well as the vendors. So Mishakivas Park has all kinds of stuff down there. Splash Park, of course, they have the beach, they have volleyball, they have playground. So a lot of people coming down there for that stuff, as well as coming down there for the farmers market. So we get a lot of foot traffic that adds to the farmers market. So that's why we like that location. And it's big. We can spread out and we can make the farmers market as big or as small as we want. We typically set up in a big circle like this. This allows for equal access to customers. When you have, like in our old structure, when you have one row, there's always one spot that's going to be better than the other. So if you have a circle, it's equal access. And the biggest problem with management of farmers markets is you have to make sure that your customers, your vendors are happy, and they're going to sell their product in the time that they have down there and have equal access to the customers. They want it to be fair. So there's going to be some fighting and stuff if you don't have that. So this has allowed that to happen. These tents have also allowed this to happen. So we have these really good tents now that weren't available 20 years ago or 15 years ago, but they're really heavy metal tents that we use down there that withstand the winds. We stake them down, weight them down. We can pull up our vehicles right behind those tents. And it just allows for multiple configurations, and this has been the best way we've done it. Alpena Farmers Market is a producer-only farmers market, so we only allow people to sell the products that they produce. Bake, make, grow down there. They also have to be within a 5-county area, which is a pretty large area, but it's pretty much all northeastern lower Michigan that we accept vendors from. Our vendors pay a $30 membership fee to the market, and that pays some of our overhead for insurance, management costs, advertisement, and they become a member of the farmers market. But they can come and go as they want to come and go. They don't have to sign up for a certain number of days. They can go to other farmers markets. They can sell to businesses downtown. There is no restrictions of what they can do other than they can't sell at a competing market. And there's so a market within that's net by us and sells on the same day, basically. So we don't want a market you can't do that. That's the only restriction that we have. So, and we do have some rules and bylaws, of course, that we follow, and all that kind of stuff. That's to help protect us and the customers and everything. So, there's a little delay here. So, this, like I said, we can get as big or as small as we want. This is our kids' day. We can fit a lot of people down at the Mishakivas Park. They are, yes. And I'll talk about a little bit that I got a picture of them that we saw in the paper. I actually just talked to the city about that, and I will kind of share with what I know about that as well. So, but this is our Kids Day. We can fit a lot of people. There's no way we'd be able to do this downtown. We're doing Kids Day downtown. It just got too crazy down there. But this has been the best. So, this is another view from the water side. You can see how many people and how many cars they're over here in the. Can I walk over here? Will it still be on the screen? I don't know if can I go here? Does that work? Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So we got customer. This is the paved parking area, and this is the dirt area in the back. This is the pavilion that we use in the winter time. So. I'll talk a little bit, I guess, about what they're going to do with remodeling down there a little bit, what the plan for the park is. But they are going to make this all paved here. And they talk about closing the south end to the park. They're not talking about this south end entrance. They're talking about the end that goes down to the trees and the very far end. I think there was some confusion about that. A lot of people coming up to me. They're going to close the south end of the park. What's the farmers market going to do? They're not closing the entrance to the farmers market. They're actually going to make this site a lot better. This will be all paved, so it won't be all this slippery, muddy mess that's down there right now. We will be more in the front here, probably set up in a circle as well. They talked about having a farmers market pavilion. That's in the, if you look in the paper, there was a picture of that in there. I don't think they want to do that now. That's not something we really asked for. We could use it in the spring, early spring, and in the fall, but it was nowhere near the size we would need to accommodate the farmers market. It only would probably handle a third of our vendors. We have over 45 vendors that come to the farmers market. So we have, there's no way it would fit in that pavilion they're showing in that picture. Did you have any questions about that? I'll show the plant at the very end here too, but this is staying here. We've adopted the warming shelter the Friends of the Farmers Market has, so we're planning on sprucing this up a little bit, possibly even doing some remodeling and inside work. We've already added a bunch of tables and chairs in there to make it more usable for other groups and for us to use for things that we're doing. We plan on painting it. So it's kind of looking a little shabby right now, so we want to make it look a little nicer, plant some plants, do some different things down there. And this is our Friends booth here that moved from downtown. So, and then this is the inside of the pavilion. We can accommodate about 25 vendors in there in the wintertime. We are year-round farmers market now. So we have filled that throughout the whole winter, do all our events out of there. We have the Friends booth becomes the old concession stand. Michiki was the pavilion there. If you remember the hockey rink down there, we're now selling, or have the Friends booth is now the hockey rink concession stand. So as a kid, I was a hockey player. Hence the hair. That's another thing, other slide. This was where I lived all winter long. So for me, it's kind of a personal, that's why I really like this building and that location too. So as I said, we're more than just a farm. What I just talked about basically is what the farmers market is. Now, what the Friends do, this is kind of, the rest of this talk will kind of be for what the Friends do. And it's a lot. The Friends of the Farmers Market does a lot of stuff. We have community members that are on the Friends of the Farmers Market board that help us a lot with all these events. We are supported financially by a lot of businesses in town. We get a lot of help. And the reason we have the Friends of the Market is because, like I said, the Alpena area has become basically a food desert. We do not have good agriculture here anymore. We have to really work to get vendors to our farmers markets because there are very few out there. You can see on this map, we're a member of the Michigan Farmers Market Association. These are all the farmers markets downstate. We have one farmers market up here in northern Michigan. So that's why it's so hard to get vendors and customers to come. So we do a lot of stuff at the Alpena Farmers Market. The Friends Farmers Market does a lot of stuff for us to encourage customers and vendors to come to the farmers market. We have a lot of support from businesses. These are some of our main businesses that support us. We have the Michigan State Extension Office working with Mary Dunkel. She does a lot of work for us. We have My Michigan with Ann Diamond helps us a lot. She's on our board. We are part of the Michigan Farmers Market Association, Taste the Local Difference, Michigan Agritourism. Those are all things that kind of help advertise for the farmers market and the events that we do. We have grants through the Youth and Rec. We have grants through Northeast Michigan Community Foundation. So we get a lot of help from our community that supports us a lot. So one of the main programs that we do through that Friends booth is an outreach program for EBT and Double Food Bucks, which is for people that need food assistance. We allow them to come down and bring their EBT card. They can cash in money and they get tokens. They get these tokens. These are the tokens, I think. Well, these aren't the tokens for the EBT program, but these are tokens. So we give them tokens and then they can spend it at the different vendors' booths. We also do credit cards down there so people can actually bring their credit card down there and get tokens and use that money they get off their credit card and spend that. And then for the people that have EBT, they actually get double up food bucks. So if they spend $20 with their EBT card, we give them an extra $20 for free to spend on fresh fruits and vegetables. That only can be spent on fresh fruits and vegetables. We've done Senior Project Fresh, which is also fresh fruits and vegetables. Prescription for Health which is an educational program that My Michigan has done, different other, it's not just My Michigan, but other health programs they do an educational program for people, and then they give them prescriptions for health or coupons that they can come down to the farmer's market and actually buy fresh fruits and vegetables down there. So we have the Market Spots program. This is this program for kids. We have all kinds of kids programs that we do. This allows kids, if they are producing or growing something themselves, they can come down to the farmer's market. We don't charge them the $30 membership fee. We don't charge them for the first day they come down, which is a $10 fee just to come down and set up a stall. And they can sell their product that they're doing. We also do educational programs. We did apple pie baking that we did with kids, planting seeds. Our Kids Day, we have a scholarship program, all kinds of different educational things down there. Do stuff with the Optimists, vegetable tasting. This is kind of what I'm talking about with the free stall, though. This is Emerson. I don't know what's her list. Emerson, but Emerson, her stall, her business name is Emersense. She has soaps that are scented soaps that she sells down there. I've had kids coming down there and selling their rocks. I've had kids selling kindling down there, cupcakes, all kinds of stuff. And your parents will help them do these things, which is fine. But they get involved and they learn how to grow things themselves and come down and interact with customers. It's something as a kid, when I was a young kid, I think I learned a lot from doing that, and it's helped me with my life. So this is some closer up pictures of the apple pie contest and some of those things we're doing. We also actually built the ACC greenhouse that's here too. We had helped apply for the grant through the soil conservation and help in conjunction with the farmers market and ACC. We built the greenhouse that's here. We turned it over to I think do lifelong learners do something with that, or it's more the garden club that does something with that now. I think they used to, garden club. Okay, yeah. Henry Stibbets used to run that. I think Betsy Hale now is doing that, I think. But that's been a good program. We're proud of doing that. That was way back when, probably 15 years ago we did that. So yeah, they do that too. They donate their produce and stuff. So it was, the vision was we were going to work with, the farmers market was going to get more involved, but we didn't. And I'm glad ACC took over and the garden club took over and did that. But I put this in there because I know that I'm talking for the lifelong learners, ACC long-flight learners, so I put that in here. So just to kind of tie it in. We also do educational programs down at the Michigawas Warming Shelter now too. We did a seed starting and gardening starting educational program, so like a classroom down there. We had apple tree pruning and care, and we're going to be doing a planting of containers. How to plant your plants in your containers at your house and stuff. Using the proper soil types and fertilization, and how to plant those in those containers and stuff. So that'll be not this weekend, but the weekend after that. We're doing that. Okay, and then we also like to recruit our customers. So this is one of our customer recruitment programs that we do. So those are kind of all educational things to get people involved in agriculture and getting people, more vendors. We also want to increase our customer base for the farmers market. So you've all gotten a button. So each year we make a new button, and we charge a membership fee of $10. So people come down and buy that button. And when you buy the button, you can enter in a drawing every time you come down on a Saturday through the summer into a giveaway basket. So this is the giveaway basket. Usually what each of the vendors gives an item from their stand, and we give that away each Saturday. So it brings people down to the farmers market. You get to enter a drawing for free. You're supporting us also with a little bit of, with your membership. So I think it's a good program that we've been doing for the last 20 years or so. Optimist Spring Break Fun Day. We're trying to teach kids how to eat healthy. So we actually do this during our Kids Day too, but we do vegetable tasting with the kids. So for everything they taste, they get a ticket into a drawing that we do, and we give that away at Optimist Spring Break Fun Day. This is the giveaway that we gave here. Kids are, this is some kids tasting vegetables and stuff. We also do fundraisers to support our programs and our events. We have this Saturday's coming up is our Mother's Day plant sale fundraiser. We give away baskets. Mainly, they're going to be a lot of dreams, but we do mixed baskets, fuchsias, fern plants we're doing this year. So it's something to do as a fundraiser. The fall mom sale we've been doing for 15 years, I think, or something. 2 different days. The first 2 Saturdays in September, we have that. Something all the friends help us do and raise money for our events. We also have done in the past, and we plan to do this again. We're trying to get rid of reusable bags. So we're trying to be environmentally conscious. We're trying to get rid of non-reusable bags. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, so these are the bags that we came up with. So something Alpena Credit support helped us do, and just talks about, actually has some of our programs on here. Just kind of a cool bag. These are really sturdy, nice bags that I think we made these 3 years ago. They're pretty sturdy bags. We have our sponsors on the back, vendors on one side, so it kind of helps advertise for the market a little bit too. So I'll pass that around. You guys have probably seen that. When I go to Myers or Walmart, I usually see one of those. People are loading their groceries in one of those. We also do a scholarship program. So we haven't done it for a little while, but we did a local board dinner, which we raised a bunch of money for one of the things we use that money for is our scholarship program. So we give a $500 scholarship to a graduating senior or a student who's in college and is going into the agricultural field. So that's what we do that each year. We do music down at the farmers market, so we support local musicians with our Turn Up the Beat music stage down there. And so every Saturday throughout the summer we have this. And I'm just going to play. I'm going to turn my. Okay, so a little quick. That's Brian Natzel. Really good, one of our favorite musicians there. But this weekend we're having Spencer Corpus is coming down. They're going to be playing actually down there. And we also have the MSU Extension Office come and do educational things. So a food preservation station they did down there, teaching people how to preserve your foods, food safety. And so that's another thing we do. We also do health, safety, and education. So we have a Save a Life Saturday, which is usually the last Saturday in July. It's going to be July 26th this year. So we have My Mission comes down with their ambulances. We show people about CPR, show people AEDs. They're not going to teach you how to do CPR in the time they have, but they're going to talk to you about it, show you what an AED is, automatic electrical defibrillator is what that stands for. And just kind of can maybe get you signed up for a class. We also do blood pressure screenings, blood sugar screenings for diabetes. We do vision screenings with young kids. The Lions Club comes down there and does that for us. For kids less than 5 years old, you actually can screen them for vision problems. Fire safety, immunizations. The My Mission gives out some different things for programs they're doing, like water safety. They gave away life preservers one time, different things. We're going to be hoping to do a blood drive down there this year. And also we're going to meet the Red Cross, maybe doing a disaster relief program down there, especially after the ice storm that we just had. I thought it'd be a good thing to do down there to get a disaster preparedness plan and like a jump kit that people could kind of show you how to do that. So they might, so I'm hoping to get that set up as well. Oh, that's got music. So that's just a quick there, but okay. I'll turn on my own. I'm not going to echo because it might be echoing here. Okay. New this year, well, sort of new. In the past, we've done a antique and rummage sale day. We're going to call that now the Vintage and Artisans Market. Tim Allen from the Chippewa Lever is organizing this, helping us to organize this. So it's going to be the second Saturday Vintage and Artisan Market. So on that second Saturday of the month throughout the summer, we're going to have other things down there besides the farmers market. So more of an antique and rummage sale day, but it's more vintage. It sounds better. So, and I'm hoping to get higher quality stuff down. Sometimes the grad style stuff can be kind of bad, but it's going to be also more some specialty artisans we'll have down there too. So if anybody's interested, anybody that wants to do that, we'll probably have that open for people to do throughout the summer. We're going to have food trucks down there this summer. So Smoking Trolls is coming down this Saturday for this opening day. We plan on having somebody different, throughout, multiple different food trucks throughout the whole summer. And then the Kids Day. Everybody's, if you lived in Alpena for any length of time, you know about Kids Day. We've been doing this for over 20 years. It started out downtown, but it's blossomed significantly since we moved down to the Mishakivas Park. So last year we had Remax come down with hot air balloon. I think the year before they had come too, but we have a foam cannon down there. We do hay rides, petting zoos, all kinds of giveaways and educational stuff, healthy things for the kids. And it's all free, completely free. And that's supported by Youth and Rec Millage, as well as all the businesses that do this down there for us and support the farmers market. This is just a picture of what we did downtown. This was a really cool thing. We actually built a pond in the middle of the street down there next to the pavilion downtown, if you guys remember that. So that was a lot of fun. And then these are all the sponsors that we have that sponsor the Kids Day and a lot of our other events. So I just wanted to bring up, we do have a lot of people that support us financially and with their time. So, and I'm going to try and play this video. We'll see if this plays. This is for our Kids Day. So let's see if this. So you can see how many educational things we do down there, making the kids do push-ups for a prize. So they got to do something, healthy. So they're giving kids reading books and all kinds of neat things like that. So it is a lot of fun. So it's become just a big carnival down there. We have the Humane Societies coming down the farmers market. I think they came down Kids Day one time, and I think we've got the record for the most kittens adopted in one day. So for the Huron Humane Society. So the library comes down. They gave out books at the Kids Day, but they come down and they do a craft with the kids and read books with the kids down at the farmers market every couple weeks or so down there. That's been a good program. We do an apple pie making contest. This is a fun thing in the fall that we do in October. I think it's going to be the second week in October, where people bake pies, and we have a contest. We give a $100 prize for the I think 100 and for first, second, or 50 for second, and 25 for third. But we have some local tasters that come down and do that for us. That's in the indoor market. When we start going inside, we do trunk or treat. I think we gave out over 15 bushels of apples. I think that trunk or treat. I was amazed how many people. I haven't done it for a while, but I think it's grown significantly since we did it a few years ago, because there was so many kids, and they loved the apples because they got something actually healthy. Made all the candy and stuff. We have Santa Claus coming to the farmers market in December. We have holiday markets down at the farmers market. We had the Easter Bunny visit us recently. So she came down there and took pictures with the kids. We have other workshops besides our planting workshops and educational stuff for gardening. We have cookie decorating workshops. We have flower arranging workshops, or this is a holiday centerpiece that we did. We have Against the Grain does a craft down there. They did a holiday, I guess it was a winter Christmas craft they did with people, and then we also did one in the spring for a spring craft they did. And then we also support the Alpena Ice Fest. So we donated money to the Ice Fest to put that on. It's the Thunder Bay Arts Gallery that actually puts that on. They do all the work, and we help them, but they do a lot of work to put that on, both down there at the Meshikiwas Park, as well as downtown with, I think, the Polar Plunge they did downtown. But that was something that brought a lot of people to Alpena and a lot of people to Alpena Farmers Market. Something we're really proud to sponsor, and something we've been doing the last few years as well. So it's kind of like our Winter Kids Day. Like I said, this is a picture of Meshikiwas Park way back when. So Meshikiwas Park used to be a community meeting place basically for Alpena. They had the ice rink down there. They had the hockey rink down there. They had these winter festival games that they had down there. And the bobs, like everybody talks about the bobsled. I never saw that, but sounds like it would have been a cool thing. But bobsled here and the bobsled run in the back here. And just a lot of things down there. I think it was where the football games were played in Alpena. Was that correct? I think the football games were played down there too. So that's why all those lights are up around there around the big field. Those lights still worked. I don't know about the speakers, but the lights actually still turn on. We could actually do things down there in the winter time, or sorry, at night. And I think it would be something we'd like to continue to do more activities even at nighttime down at the Meshikiwas Park. A new thing we're doing again this year as well, still getting off the ground, but the Sisterhood Saturday, so like a ladies' day down at the farmers market. I don't know all the details of this yet, but it's going to be all centered around like massages. I don't know what the things. You're on women's health and different things, and like we'll have like a little maybe a luncheon or something down there. Talking about some different things. So we're still working on that. That's going to be September 12th. So look forward to that. It's one of our new things we're doing. So, and then again, I just wanted to bring this up with changes coming to Meshikiwas Park. This is what you've seen in the newspaper. I kind of talked about that a little bit as well. But this is the pavilion over here. Parking. This is going to be a paved parking lot and paved driveway going in and out. So it won't be all dirty, muddy mess down there anymore. Be much more handicap accessible. We'll have the farmers market in this area and parking over here. This is the pavilion they proposed, but I think that's kind of out of the picture right now. At least for us, it wouldn't be practical. They put that in there, I think, without maybe asking us, but it's a good idea. I think they were trying to help us. I think it was farmers market we had a community meeting several years ago, and the main things that came out of that, people spoke out what they like about Meshikiwas Park, and the main thing that they said was, don't change anything, don't make it like in the other parks, basically. Don't develop it, make it natural. I think that's what they're trying to do with the southern end. They're cutting off, this is when they talk about the south entrance parking lot, they're cutting off that. So this is all going to be more natural area, and I think these volleyball courts will be moving down a little bit into this area too. So they won't have kids running across the traffic and all that kind of stuff. It'll be a safer place. They'll have they have a new playground they're building, and they built or are building down here. But it's going to be a much more natural area, unlike the other parks that are kind of developed a little bit. People, in my opinion, I think they're a little bit too developed too. But the splash park's cool. All the pavilions and stuff are cool on the other side. But they want to keep this more natural, I think. So that's what I got out of the presentation and what everybody wanted at that meeting. And farmers market was one of the top two things on the list too, was keep the farmers market there. That's a good addition to the park. So we hope they keep us down there in this location. So yeah, I guess that's all I got. So can open it up, I guess, for questions if you want to.
But it seems like a lot of the vendors have moved downtown.
We had 6 vendors we had about 50 vendors. We had 6 of the 50 vendors that we had form a group, the co-op, and move downtown to the co-op market now. That's not part of us. They decided to to make a group, form a separate nonprofit group, and have the co-op type co-op market rather than a farmers market than what we have. So um, I think they're sped up permanently. We have vendors that we're a little, we're the typical classic farmers market. So
what is the co-op market?
well, they worked. I think they kind of worked. They work together and kind of and watch their own state. They're not, so they might not have to be there at the market. They can set up their state their items and not even be there. So the other people kind of watch it for them basically. And it's in their enclosed area. I can't really speak of I don't know all what they're doing, but that's what as a co-op market, that's typically what that is. They don't call themselves a farmers market. They call themselves a co-op market. So again, that was
More crafts.
yeah.
Not so much produce.
Yeah, we have more produce than them just because of our location. You need to have a truck. You got to be able to pull up a whole truckload of stuff back to something. You can't do that in the parking lot. You got to do it on the grassy area. You can't just, because for us that have big gardens and big produce, you got to have a bigger area. It's too small downtown. As I showed all those different locations we just kept outgrowing all those places. We outgrew that pavilion down there. So it just didn't work downtown. It's not that I wanted to stay downtown, or we all wanted to stay downtown, but it got to be too big and there was no more parking. And I think if there's a farmer's market downtown, they're going to run into the same thing. I mean, I understand the businesses downtown would like to have a farmer's market down there. It helps some foot traffic probably, but you're also trading the parking spaces too for that. And it just doesn't work in the long run for a farmer's market to not have parking. It's busy. Yeah, it's busy. I don't know. Yeah, if they have the market there, I think I did read that they're going to do some stuff outside their building down there. Still is a very small area. Location, in my opinion, it didn't work down there where we were behind City Hall. There was no drive-by traffic. It's going to be a difficult place just to do a farmer's market. And I wish they would be with us. I really wish they would. It was not something we wanted to happen, but we didn't get along with some of the things they wanted to do, and they didn't like I think some of the people didn't like the extra stuff that we do from the Friends. So they wanted more of a year-round permanent location too. They had more visions of that. I think that was the main reason. So, but that location we have is right on the main road. We can do all of our events. We couldn't do a quarter of the things we do there downtown, unfortunately. And we have one coming from Mile. Actually, one of our biggest vendor comes from Mile. Actually, Luke Gashko. He's an Amish vendor who's been coming to the market. He was an Osneek, but he moved to Mile. Now he realizes how we've been a really good market for him. But he still comes from Mile to sell his stuff in Alpena. He does that well. So we do really well with produce, and I still need more produce vendors. We have too many crafts at our farmers market too. I wish we didn't have to have as many as we do, but especially in the wintertime, we have to have those in the wintertime to support the winter market. We have a lot of bakers in the winter market. But it's just, we're in northern Michigan. That's very cold. Our climate is changing, though. We are getting a better climate up here. It's more of a moderate climate, especially along the water. This ice storm, I was closer to the water. My house didn't get very bad, but the people inland got really bad ice storms, and that's kind of typical in the wintertime that the people inland are going to have a colder climate. But that's been changing over the years. We used to not be able to grow peaches up here. We can grow peaches now up here. Peaches even made it through that ice storm for the most part. So we've gone up about one zone in our climate, which made a big difference. So now we're similar to what Traverse City has actually over here, especially along the water. So we can grow more things. I'm hoping that expands our farmers market and the produce that we have now at the market. So, but we still need more bigger people growing fruits and vegetables in Alpena area. So we're a food desert at this point. We do not grow enough food in this area to support our population for probably for more than a month. I think if we totaled it all up in 1 year, we're getting everything from Myers and not to knock Myers and Walmart. I like Myers and like, oh, they supply a lot of stuff, but they really have kind of hurt our local producers a little bit. So you can't sell strawberries in Myers for $1 a quart and expect our strawberry producers to survive here in Alpena anymore. So it's really hard when you have that competition, unless people really want to pay the extra money and want to buy local, which usually tastes better, is fresher. But Myers they're doing a pretty darn good job of getting things up here, fresh, and it's pretty good tasting, unfortunately. So not unfortunately, but so it is. But I like my produce, but support your farmers, because what if the Myers and Walmart, what if things that they can't get that stuff anymore? I mean, there's like these things like disasters like the ice storm and stuff. You need to have some local based stuff. I mean, that's again, that's kind of going back to the victory guards. What if we have a World War III again here, or something, and we can't get that kind of stuff? We need to have people that actually know how to do that. I mean, the people that come to the farmers market are the people that can teach you. You come down to the farmers market, if you don't have those people that learn and can, and learn those things and can teach others, we'll be in trouble up here, especially up in northern, Michigan. So in this climate we have, it's very difficult. You need to learn how to preserve foods. You need how to grow foods. It's something we need to keep as a tool to use in the future. And it's just economically and environmentally, and it's something we should have. So,
young woman, one of my best memories is my father visited me in Dallas, and we went through the giant farmers market that they had in Dallas, and he taught me how to pick a good tomato, and how to pick a good melon, and just to be able to smell the tomato. So everybody looks at me crazy, because when I'm in the supermarket, I'm always smelling the tomatoes, trying to pick out which one to get.
Whenever my wife and I go someplace, we always visit the farmers market. I'm always looking how they're setting things up, what events they're doing, how they're displaying things, how they're growing things, and all that kind of stuff. We learn from people that are doing. You learn from the people that are doing. You're not going to learn from walking up to Myers and getting the on sale apples at the front of the building. You're not going to talk to anybody about that. You're not going to learn anything about that, and you don't get the experience that you would get at a farmer's market. You're actually talking to people that are growing and producing that item, and it's just the experience. So. I would guess 500 on a Saturday. I don't know what would you say? Yeah, 500 to 1,000 people. And I mean, there's 100 vendors, 2 people at each stall, and there's 30 to 40 stalls typically on a Saturday. So there's just 100 vendors, people selling down there, let alone the customer. Yeah, I mean, we sell to probably, at our stand alone, we sell to 200 different people probably. So yeah, it's probably closer to between 500 and 1,000 people. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh, are you hearing? Are they hear? I'm supposed to repeat the questions here too. So.
Okay, I know about the farmers market. Every time I go there, it's fun. The atmosphere, the people that are around, it's a pleasant place to be. And as you said, I've gotten advice on growing my cucumbers at home. It's a nice atmosphere. I wish it stays for another 100 years as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, we hope to keep it going. I mean, that's what we need. That's why the Friends of the Farmers Market is there, because the farmers themselves, they just don't have the time to do it. We have, most of the farmers that are down there are backyard gardeners. They're not big. We don't have big producers. I consider myself a backyard gardener. I'm one of the bigger producers down there, to be honest with you. But we're still very, very small compared to what I remember way back when. So We encourage anybody who's got extra produce and stuff in their backyards that they're growing. I mean, we allow them to come down for anybody to sell down there. So, you know, the kids, the adults that like the garden and stuff, we want to encourage that and get more and more people down there. And you'll sell everything. I mean, our produce is people are really hungry for local, fresh produce. It does not taste the same as most of the stuff at Myers. So, you're obviously not going to grow an orange or something like that, but you can grow the stuff that's in season, the seasonal stuff. It's going to be a lot better here at the farmer's market than you're going to buy at the grocery store. So, sure. Oh yeah, I forgot about the drawing. So you guys have all I have. So they have the buttons. I should have done the drawing actually, but I show up that slide. But so this is what we do at the market. We'll take everybody's names and we'll call you and then come down and pick up the giveaway basket. So I'm going to be giving today. I'm going to give out one of our reusable. This is actually our first version of the reusable bag. So these are little duffel bags that you can put in your purse and stuff. So, about an hour. So, yeah. Thanks for coming.